Hello, everyone, and welcome to Reel Me In: a movie podcast, where you didn't really ask for it, but hey, I'm gonna give it to you anyways. This is a podcast where I talk about anything, everything, well, anything about movies. This is a big fucking show. Let's just go ahead and just get that out of the way. I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you guys this is a stacked show. Just go grab your popcorn, go grab that shitty soda that you bought at Walmart, and then sit back in your chair and relax, because we're gonna get this thing going. I am joined today by two people, so there's more people to go around instead of just hearing me and making your ears bleed and you have to go to the doctor the next day. So I brought back two people that you know. I brought back George, and I brought back my girlfriend Emiline. So George, say hi to the peeps.
What's going on, guys?
Oh yeah, George George is here, ready to play, and Emiline, go ahead and say hi to the peeps.
Hey, hey, hey.
Oh yeah, she's ready to tear Birdman a new asshole. I mean, moving on. So, anyways, we have a sponsor for this show, and let's go ahead and talk about it. It is CobraCoins.com. They are a sponsor for today's show. They specialize in creating fully customized coins for any occasion, so you can literally create anything unique to call your own. These coins are collected by video gamers and movie buffs anywhere. Seriously, you can put anything on it. If you like Star Wars, put that shit on there. You like comic book movies, put that shit on there. If you're a coin collector, you should be checking this site out. Just trust me. Cobra Coins is trusted by many police departments around the nation, not to mention the U.S. Coast Guard, Air Force, and even your neighborhood-friendly Walmart. Create your customized coin today at CobraCoins.com and receive a 10% off thing by mentioning my name, Chase Lee. CobraCoins.com, cold-blooded, hot prices. I always like to say that in like a very sexual tone, just because it sounds like a porn name. All right, so I'm not going to waste any time. Let's fucking get into this. We're going to start with the news first. And there's only one bit of news I would like to get into because it's kind of big. And that is Christian Bale is going to be Steve Jobs in the biopic written by Aaron Sorkin and directed by Danny Boyle. So just go ahead and just relieve your nerdgasm all over the screen. It's okay. I won't judge you. But this is a trio. Wouldn't you say, George? Like, this is like you're going to get nominated for an Oscar.
I'm so stoked about this. I guess last year I was at Tribeca and Sorkin was there, and I got to see him speak and talk to him very briefly. And one of the things he was talking about was this Steve Jobs project, and it just sounds amazing. And for them to have lost Bale and then got Bale back, and Fincher was going to direct, but now they got Boyle, who's actually, in my opinion, a better fit for this type of film. It's awesome. When Sorkin was talking about it, he was basically saying it's like 3 scenes about Steve Jobs. I'm so stoked. I can't wait for it. It's fucking Christian Bale, Aaron Sorkin, and Danny Boyle. Like, you can't go wrong with that. So, all
right. So, ladies and gentlemen, George just had a heart attack. I'm
so stoked for it.
I am too, dude. It's someone's gonna get nominated for an Oscar. I don't care if it's Sorkin, Boyle, or Bale.
If Bale got nominated for American Hustle, he'll get nominated for playing. Bale is delivering Sorkin dialogue.
Yeah.
He's going to get nominated for an Oscar. That's it. Drop the mic, walk away.
Yeah, no, I mean, seriously, in American Hustle, he played like an obese version of Al Capone where he had like STDs all over his face and hair. So, like, if he can get a nomination for that, yeah, Ooh was right. He looked like a fucking nasty bar owner. It's just such a good trio. I mean, Emiline, do you care about a Steve Jobs biopic? Not entirely. Okay. Well,
it's actually the second Steve Jobs biopic, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, because I must say this once, and I'll say it again. In my review of Jobs, I said that Ashton Kutcher,
he was good.
Yeah, he did a good job. It's just the movie overall, I didn't really care for. I actually liked him, and a lot of people were just like, "Oh, he was terrible." I didn't really see what you were talking about. You know, I saw a pretty good imitation of Steve Jobs. He got the walk down. I thought he got like the personality.
Look too.
Yeah, he got the look and the personality down. So I'm not knocking on Ashton Kutcher's version, but Christian Bale's version is going to be 10 times better, which is not a bad thing.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Has yet to come out.
Has yet to come out, but with that trio, if you start sucking dick, you are obviously in the wrong profession, Aaron Sorkin. But I highly doubt it because I love The Social Network and then Danny Boyle, he's just a legend. All right, so that's the only piece of news I picked out because there's really nothing else to talk about. So, George, there was a little trailer that came out this week. I think it was the Nicholas Sparks trailer called Go Fuck Yourself, Give Me Your Money, I think. Oh, no. Oh, that was a different one. No, we're talking about the Avengers 2 trailer. Okay. So, Avengers 2 Age of Ultron. George, I'll let you start on this one.
I'm sorry. Look, Marvel, you're very smart. You're a genius company. Obviously, people are going to go see this movie. It looks like the exact same thing to me. It looks a bit more cinematic because the first one definitely did have elements of like one really, really long episode of television.
Yeah.
This looks more cinematic just in the look, but it looks like the same movie. Oh, this guy comes, this shit gets blown up, everything's okay, the Hulk comes, he gets mad, Captain America's mad at Tony Stark gets mad at Captain America, Black Widow makes out with Hawkeye, and then it's done. Like, I'm so done with the, I don't like the Avengers movies.
Okay.
They're boring to me. I really enjoyed PAP 2. I thought that was a really good movie. Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy I thought was really fun. Mm-hmm. Aside from that, and Iron Man's really good. Aside from that, Marvel doesn't do it for me. People get mad at me. I know.
George, I'm not going to
get... I think it looks okay. But until they raise the stakes, until someone's like, hey, Iron Man just died, I don't care because I know everybody's going to be fine. And one of the problems I have too, and then I'll let you gush about how much you love it, because I know you love it. One of the problems I have too, so they announced a sequel, Marvel. They announced a sequel, they announced this whole slate, basically. DC just did the same thing. So we know that there's a Captain America 3. We know that Iron Man's going to be in Captain America 3. So now we know, okay, Captain America's not dying in the Avengers Age of Ultron. Tony Stark's not dying in Avengers Age of Ultron. Like, somebody's got to go for me to be invested at this point. I'm tired of just watching stuff blow up. I have Independence Day to watch that.
Yeah.
You know, like, enough.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it looked okay. Meh.
Okay, I mean, that's a good response. I mean, like, listen, I might have like changed my underwear like 5 times while watching it, but I can tell you that you're right. I want someone to die. I want Marvel to take a chance and take a risk, because that is what's going to keep them, interesting down the road. Is like, if you keep taking risks, you might, if you kill someone off, that would be fantastic.
And don't make it Hawkeye, because we know the obvious choice of the person to die is like, oh yeah, the guy who came in for the cameo, yeah, he can go. His contract's up. Yeah. Make it a major player. One of the major players has got to go.
I would love that, because then at least Marvel's...
Don't bring them back for a TV show either. Don't do that shit.
Hey, Coulson's dead. Oh wait, no, he's not. He's an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, here's the thing. Like, I enjoy them for what they are, and I do like the through storyline that they got going on. But you're right. They need to take a fucking risk. Because if Marvel wants to be this big dog on campus, like, listen, regardless of what anyone thinks of DC movies, they're coming hard. They got 6 years to basically throw, like, 20 gajillion movies at us. And, if they take risk, and I don't know.
If they don't take risks, the cops are coming. I hear them in the background.
Oh, I know. Like, the cops are... okay, listen, everyone. The cops are coming because we're talking about Ultron, and he has come to... kill us. James Spader is going to rock me to sleep.
I will say, James Spader. I know nothing about the comic books.
Yeah.
I know the comic books I know are Black Widow, The Punisher, which I'd love to see a solo shot of The Punisher, then have it go to Netflix. That would be my ideal situation. But so I don't really know comics. I'm not a big comic guy. I have a few I've read here and there. James Spader's voice was awesome. And then I saw Ultron, and I'm like, it's a robot. A robot. Come on. Couldn't give me something better than a robot.
Well,
like, people were tweeting out, this is the guy who takes down the Avengers. I'm like, this is a robot with a really awesome voice, but it's still a robot. I can't take this seriously.
Well, George, if it makes you feel any better, he's made out of the same material as Cap Shield, so it's pretty much near indestructible. So that's what kind of makes it hard. And I guess when you have like a bunch of drones flying around everywhere, it's gonna slow him down for sure. And you're right. I want someone to take it up the pooper and just die. But obviously, you're right. Those sequels are coming, and no one's gonna really kill anyone off. I like the trailer for what it was. I think it looks darker. I think it looks bleaker. I think James Spader's voice is like
awesome.
He will rip your testicles off and like just shove them somewhere like not pretty. Like he is just that commanding. Like his voice will kill you. And so I think he'll be the most popular villain hands down. I think he'll actually outbeat Loki because he's actually like a threat. Because you're right. The first Avengers, like Loki's not really a threat. Like they kill him within 20 minutes. I'm not kill him, but like they subdue him. So
yeah,
I think Ultron will be I think he'll be the one to actually stop them in their tracks for a little bit, which is good.
The one thing I will say about the trailer, where I was like, oh, I like that, was the shot of Cap's shield all messed up.
Yeah.
I would have liked it more had I not known there's a Captain America 3 coming in a couple of years. Like, So yeah, I feel I'm getting the fatigue of all the sequels and the announcements, I guess I should say, is actually hurting the theater going experience for me personally.
Yeah, you're right. Like as much as I love comic book movies, and I've told you this many times, and you've told me to shut the fuck up, but like you're right. I get overwhelmed by them, and I am actually fatigued on them. Like fucking cops, like. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if I said right now, let's play a game. Where does George live? Does he live in Dallas, Texas, or New York? Where does Chase live? Dallas or New York? You guys are gonna fucking say I live in New York because there's fucking cops everywhere. So now that there's cops everywhere, Dallas is now a unsafe place. I'm gonna have to go up there and crash with you. What the? Listen, guys, this is what happens when you do this fucking thing live and you're next to my window. Like, okay, go away. Okay. Anyways, Avengers 2 trailer. Listen, it got 34 million hits, so if you haven't seen it, then you're dumb. Even if you hate the movies, at least those people have seen it too. So, like, you've seen the trailer, so...
I'll say that one last thing. The best thing I think about the whole thing is after it was leaked, whoever is running the Marvel Twitter feed is a genius, because they just tweeted, "Damn it, Hydra!"
Yeah,
and I thought that was golden. So
it was genius.
Better than the trailer.
So their PA is better than the trailer.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, no, that was really great. But yeah, we could talk about Avengers all day and how much George hates me for talking about it. But I mean, it was a good trailer. I'm gonna see it. I think it looks darker. I love James Spader as the villain. I love the fact that they used the fucking Pinocchio song for the trailer. That was creepy as shit. Yeah, someone just died. So, all right. So, what did you guys think about the piece of news or the trailer that came out this week? Comment that place for upload my voice and let me know. All right, George. So the next section we're gonna do, like as you guys can tell, the episode is titled "Whiplash, Birdman, and NYFF 2014. What does that stand for? It stands for the New York Film Festival, which George attended because he lives there and I don't. And he saw a crap ton of movies, and we're basically just going to hear him talk about them. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are a film nerd, you know who Paul Thomas Anderson is. You know that he has a movie coming out called Inherent Vice. George has seen that movie, so we can all hate him at once. It's okay. But he's going to tell us about that one and among many others. So, George, take it away, sir. What do you want to talk about first?
Well, I'll start with the stuff that's already come out, and we'll just bang that out. Gone Girl was the first film I saw there. Gone Girl's amazing. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Fincher, I think it's Fincher's best. Rosamund Pike should get an Oscar nomination. It's Ben Affleck's best lead performance, in my opinion. It's just a really, really good movie, and Kim Dickens is fantastic in it. It's just a great flick.
Yeah, we me and Emiline both saw it. That was actually her first
First Blood with Fincher.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so and then we watched Seven like 2 days later, and she liked that one too.
So good.
It's so great.
But I think Gone Girls is his best, but I need to see it again. Whiplash was the second film I saw at the festival. Was it the second film? Yeah, Whiplash was the second film I saw at the festival. This is just an amazing film. It's an amazing piece of cinema. Damien Chazelle, it's his second feature film, but it's his first film that got any major recognition. If you don't know the story of how this film was made, look it up. It's amazing. I mean, I could tell it to you, but it'd take a little bit. Whiplash is fantastic. It's probably going to be my number 1, number 2 of the year.
I know, man. Like
Miles Teller should get an Oscar nomination. J.K. Simmons will get an Oscar nomination, and Damien Chazelle should get a nomination for both direction and Best Original Screenplay.
Yeah, I think so too. Like we just came from it like a few hours ago, and we'll talk about it a little later. But George is right. It's one of those movies. Ben, I'll break it down a little bit. But yeah.
Are you on my fucking time?
were you rushing, or were you dragging, or were you on my fucking time?
It's so good. It's go see it, and if you see it in the theater, it's an experience.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think a movie about a jazz drummer would be, but it is.
It's edited so well.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I guess we can gush about that.
Yeah.
I saw Maps to the Stars, which is Cronenberg's latest. I don't think it even has the 2014 release date. I think it's just straight up coming out in 2015.
Okay.
I didn't love it. It was meh. It was kind of like Cronenberg trying to mix old Cronenberg with the new Cronenberg.
That doesn't work.
Yeah, mixed like The Fly type stuff with Eastern Promises type stuff, and it felt weird and it was all over the place. It didn't do anything for me. Julianne Moore's good in it, but that was kind of it. It's a really twisted freaking movie.
I'll check it out. I really love Cronenberg. My favorite one is History of Violence.
Yeah, I mean it's got elements of that in there too.
Okay.
Look, Cronenberg fans should see the movie. I actually would tell everybody to try to see it because it's something people will be talking about when it comes out. But I didn't really like it.
Okay.
And then I saw 71, which is directed by Yann Demange, I believe is how you pronounce the dude's name. And this movie's fantastic. It stars Jack O'Connell. The first time I saw Jack O'Connell was when I was at Tribeca last year, and I saw him in Start Up. If you haven't seen Start Up, see that movie. It's amazing. 71 takes place in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Jack O'Connell is a British soldier. He gets left behind in one of the riots, and the IRA are out to take him down. And it is the most tense movie I've seen in years.
Really?
It's so tense. It's edge of your seat, like uncomfortably tense. Like Whiplash in some ways.
Okay.
And it's brutal. It's honest. It's real. Jack O'Connell's superb. The guy has given 2 Oscar-worthy performances this year. That would be this Oscar season with Startup and 71. Both amazing. I highly recommend checking out 71 when it gets a U.S. release date, which will probably be, they sneak it in the end of 2014, but I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be March or April of 2015. So I don't think it'll get a release date this year. I saw While We're Young, which is the new Noah Baumbach film that played over at TIFF right before it dropped on by New York. It's really good. I'm not a huge Baumbach fan, but I really liked this movie. I thought it was really fun. It's with Ben Stiller, Naomi Watts, Amanda Seyfried, and damn it, I'm gonna blank on the dude's name. He's in Girls, and he's gonna be in Adam Driver.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really interesting. Raises a lot of questions about technology, about filmmaking, about interpersonal relationships. It's just a really, really good movie, and it's the best I've seen Ben Stiller ever.
Shit.
So yeah, it's a really, really good, fun, entertaining flick.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely write that one and 71 down.
Yeah,
sure.
71 and While We're Young are two to check out, and then Inherent Vice.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Inherent Vice is my number one anticipated for the rest of the year. However, since I live in Texas and we don't get films until like 2018, I won't see it probably until January because that's probably when we'll get it. But George had a pleasure of seeing it. I'm going to go ahead and interview him on this movie because I'm a little jealous, I'm not going to lie.
Everybody is.
I know. I hate you so much. But
PTA, look, for those of you who don't know, Stanley Kubrick is my favorite director, and PTA is my favorite living director.
Yeah.
So this was a freaking dream come true. It was amazing. But let the interview begin.
Okay, so I'm going to start off by saying, obviously, I already know the answer to this because, let's face it, he hasn't really made a bad one. Well, not bad, but like some of them I've just been kind of content with. But like, would you rank this as part of his top three at least?
Okay, so I keep going back and forth with this. The more I haven't stopped thinking about Inherent Vice, and it is based off a Thomas Pynchon book, and that guy is bananas. I'm reading a lot of his stuff now. It works so well with PTA's style.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy.
Yes, it is up there with. I keep going back and forth. I like it more than There Will Be Blood.
Oh wow!
But I don't know if it's better than There Will Be Blood. It's somewhere. It's like really close on the balancing scale.
Okay.
With those two, but I think it's definitely in his top three for sure.
Okay, that makes me even more excited.
His top three would probably be not in this particular order, but would be There Will Be Blood, Inherent Vice, and Boogie Nights.
Yeah. I'm actually okay with that list. Those are actually I haven't seen Inherent Vice. In its place is Punch Drunk Love. Until I see Inherent Vice, but would you, I saw the trailer and I actually really like the trailer, would you say this has more of like a Boogie Nights vibe? Or, because he kind of flops his genres.
I know where you're going with this.
Okay.
It's so interesting, man. It's a full-blown comedy.
That's amazing.
It's so funny. It's the funniest movie I've seen all year. It's a full-blown comedy with some really, really dark and human undertones, and that's really what drives the movie. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but and I won't. But it's a really human film.
Okay, I mean, and that's typically a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. I mean, look at look at Magnolia. That's a total human piece.
I just watched Magnolia yesterday, and I was, it's so good. Yeah, it's so good.
It's one of the fastest 3-hour movies you'll ever watch.
Tom Cruise should have won the Oscar.
Oh, well, he did, didn't he?
No, he got nominated. He should have won that year.
Oh shit, I thought he won
for that performance.
Oh no, yeah, he should have won then.
But yeah.
Okay. Is Joaquin Phoenix better in this or The Master?
Oh, he's better in this.
Damn.
By a hair.
Dude, you know that the scene in The Master, you know what I'm talking about, the prison scene?
Yeah.
When he's fucking banging his head across everything and he knocks the toilet out?
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I feel like there's one scene where he cries in this movie towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
And with that scene, I was like, this is Joaquin Phoenix at the best he's ever been.
Whoa.
The best he's ever been.
Damn.
All this movie, PTA kind of rolled everything he does so well into one thing. And Joaquin Phoenix, in many ways, did the same thing. It's such a kooky, his character of Doc is such a kooky kind of human, stoned out, wacky character. It's the best I've seen him. He's so good. It's going to go down as one of the best characters I guess you could call it a stoner movie. It's just an iconic character.
Ah, fuck. Oh man,
it's really good.
I'm so excited. And as usual, I'm assuming the cinematography and the music stand out.
Unbelievable. Shot on 35 millimeter.
Oh.
There's a scene, and I'm not going to tell anybody what the scene is. I promise, guys, I'm not going to spoil Inherent Vice. But there's a scene where PTA just sets up the camera and has the actors walk into frame. And it's like, this is why he's so good. He takes the simple stuff and uses it masterfully.
Yeah.
And then he makes the hard stuff look so simple. And he does that throughout this entire film. And it's stellar, man. It's awesome. It's a real trip. It's a lot of fun. And then by the end of it too, it's like you'll be thinking about it. You won't know how much. I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, I don't know if I like that. Then they're going to think about it and be like, oh, I like that. They're going to think about it more and like, oh man, I really like that. I did a write-up on it for my blog, and I'll post it probably after it comes out because it's giving away what I think the movie means and what it means to me. So I don't want to spoil it for people, but I think if people come to that conclusion or come to something similar, those will be the people who really dig it. It's just a lot of fun and it's deep. It's got some deep stuff in it, and I don't want to spoil anything.
That's basically it. That's all the questions I had. So, like, if you could just kind of like give like a mini review on it, just to wrap it up and like just hype us up even more, you bastard! Like
it's about this dude Doc, and he's a stoner private eye, and his old girlfriend comes into town and asks him to help him out with something, and he gets wrapped up in a cloud of smoke and mirrors and goes through a big puzzle of solving a case with a lot of pot and a little bit of cocaine and it's just a ride, man. It's a real trip and it's a lot of fun, and it's back in California in Boogie Nights territory in the 70s, like I guess end of the 60s, and it's just a lot of fun. And it's quintessential PTA. It's the must-watch, demands repeat viewings, much like There Will Be Blood. I think it's definitely my favorite. I think it's one of his best, for sure.
Damn. I guess to cap it all off with all the greatness, what would you give it out of 10?
Out of 10, I do 10 out of 10. I do 5 out of 5, and I went 5 out of 5 with it. It's just
okay.
It's just a great movie, and I had a chance to go to a thing where PTA sat down and chatted, and the guy's just so cool. He's just so cool, and he's a film fan, and he gets film fans. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun seeing the movie, and then the next day being like sitting down and watching this guy talk about the process and the things that influenced him, and just, having him say how good Interstellar was.
I know, right? Like, coming from his mouth, it's like, okay, like I trust him.
So it was, he's super chill.
So it seems like you had a good time at the festival overall.
Yeah, broke my back.
Oh, I hate you. Well, you heard it here, folks. Inherent Vice is just going to be one of those movies. And if you are a fan of Paul Thomas Anderson, George is telling you to check it out. And I probably won't see it until 3 months after this podcast is done recording. So future self, get ready. because you're going to see some greatness in January.
It's a ride, man. It's a real ride.
God, George.
It's so funny too, and Josh Brolin's fantastic as well. I just got to throw that out there. And Catherine Watterson, is awesome. Yeah, it's just it's a special flick. It's a really special flick.
Well, like I said, if you guys were not hyped up even more than you already are, okay, we gotta stop talking about this because I'm gonna need to change my pants on air. Hey now. So George saw that movie. That's all fine and dandy. And that wraps up his trip from the film festival. Now, there's a movie also in the title of this podcast, Birdman, which George has not seen, but me and Emiline have seen. So, George, I'm going to turn the tables on you now. I want you to ask us questions on Birdman.
Okay. Have you seen 21 Grams?
Yes.
How does Birdman compare to 21 Grams? I know they're different, but they're both directed by. Okay.
I like Birdman better technically, but I like 21 Grams story-wise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That leads me to my next question. Is this movie essentially looking like one giant tracking shot like people have said?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
wow.
It's basically one giant. But I mean, you and I are smart to where like you and I could tell where they magically did the cut. But I won't tell you where they cut it. I want you to figure that out yourself. But yeah, it's basically one tracking shot, and that's what I liked about this movie the most is like its technical aspect of it and everything. Me and Emiline both agree on that for sure.
How Emiline?
Yes.
How is Keaton in it?
I think he did all right. I really wasn't thrilled with the movie, to be honest. I like the way it was shot the most. The rest of it was kind of blah to me.
Okay.
So.
Is it Chase? Do you know? Is it digital or is it DCP or is it 35 millimeter?
Do we see?
You know what they shot it on?
The theater we were at, like they show like film, but I think ours was digital because if it was film, I would have seen like cigarette burns.
Yeah,
or something.
you would have seen the grain. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see anything, so it was digital.
I heard a little bit of buzz about what's her name? Hermione.
Oh, Emma Watson.
Emma Watson.
Hermione said something.
I heard her performance is great. Is that accurate?
That's Emma Stone.
Oh, what the fuck? It was one of the Emmas. One of the Emmas.
Oh my god.
Crazy Stupid Love Emma.
Yeah, Emma Stone.
She's also in the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you work 7 days a week.
It's totally cool, man. I was telling Emiline this when we got out of it. I actually think her and Keaton have a shot at a nomination for the Oscars.
Okay, that's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing those too.
Yeah, I really liked Emma Stone. I didn't have, and like I said, I didn't have a problem with any of the actors. I thought Galifianakis did well. I thought Naomi Watts did well. I love Edward Norton. He just goes batshit crazy.
Yeah, he looked like just a nut in it.
Oh yeah, he's basically playing himself.
Good. That makes me really happy.
Yeah, but here's where Emiline and I differ: is the story, like she said. I thought it was good. You understand what it is from the trailer. It's basically washed up actors and how they're depressed and they want to get back up to their former glory. I understand that, but it was almost like, they just kept hitting us over the head with it, and it's like, I get it. The story was fine. I do like the whole like Broadway play aspect of it. I thought that was really interesting because, like I said, in one sweeping shot, you're following them through the hallways, onto the stage, backstage. So in that aspect, I really liked it. But Emiline, like, tell George and the people out there like why the story didn't work for you.
I think it lacked like complexity. I mean, I like basically where it has a lot to it, and to me, it just seemed too simple of a storyline. So
Yeah, okay, so when this came out, Chase, when the trailer dropped, everybody was like, "This Birdman, like, like, people were like, "That's what's amazing," and I'm like,
They sound like a dumb Flintstones character.
I don't know. Well, it just okay. So it's not one of the movies I've been anticipating.
Yeah,
really at all. And everybody's telling me to see it. And I'm like, well, it looks good, you know. But what's the deal? Like, okay, so you got a flying, massive dinosaur bird.
Yep.
You got like a bird. You got him levitating, and it looks. Just from the trailer, it looked very. It didn't look at all grounded in anything, and that makes me nervous because of what the story is.
It's only the last.
You know what I mean?
Well,
it's only last 20 minutes or so that the bird thing even comes out.
See, that's what's weird is like the trailer makes it seem like that's part of the movie. That's all one little sequence at the very end. That's it. And it's not even the end of the movie. It's just kind of like at the beginning of the end or whatever. Like I don't know. It's really weird that they chose those scenes to advertise it because it's it's just a small little sequence at the end. It doesn't even really. I mean, it makes a difference because it kind of goes with Keaton's character, but like, I don't really like the way they're advertising it either.
I don't. So I guess that's my question. Is it like this batshit crazy like dream sequence of a weird mess that the trailer kind of felt like, or is it like? So I work in theater. I build sets. I know the stage. I know the loft. I know this world very well. So. Seeing it, I don't know, I guess maybe that was part of, like, I know the green room. I know the dressing rooms. Like, I built this stuff. I've been in the lighting loft. So when they were doing some of that stuff, I don't know, it seems odd. And I don't know if it's at all grounded or if it's that odd, wacky mess of a kind of dinosaur flying around for the majority of the movie.
Well, like, Keaton's character, like a lot of like a voice is inside of his head.
Yeah, well, that's every actor. They're all nuts.
Yeah, like I think that's.
I love them. I love working with them, but they're all out there.
Yeah, they're all out there. I guess the best way to put it is like the flying everything and all that. It's part of like a little sequence at the end, and that's it. It really doesn't ruin the experience, but it's just it is kind of out of place. But that really didn't. It wasn't like a bad thing for me. It was just kind of like, it was kind of weird because like you're inside this stage play for the bulk of the movie, and then when they're outside and stuff, and this stuff happens, it's like that was kind of weird. But then
that's interesting. That actually gets me more excited.
I want you to watch it and tell me what you thought of it because since you work in that, like you said, that area and stuff, because I know you do, and so like I think it's a very interesting world and. Like I said, I thought it was good. I just don't think it's up on this pedestal like everyone puts it on. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. And the acting is all.
Oh, the acting all around is fantastic. Like I said, Galifianakis was good. Watts was good. Norton was good. Keaton obviously steals the show. And then Emma Stone's like right behind him in terms of.
You mean Emma Watson, right?
Yeah, Hermione is. I can't believe. Well, what's even weird is like I went with it. I was like, yeah, Hermione, and I was like, oh wait.
I was like, mix up the names all the time.
I know.
Mix up the names.
I don't know why. Like, so you and I both pull a dumb. But yeah, Emiline didn't really care for it. I thought it was good, just not on the pedestal that everyone's giving it. I would give it a strong 7.5 out of 10. I mean, that's a good score. It's not like I fucking rated rotten or anything. It's just, It's definitely, like after seeing Whiplash and after seeing all these movies I've seen this year, it will be in the top 10, but it won't be in the top 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you see Oscar-wise? Cinematography?
Yes, because it's the same cinematographer from Gravity and stuff, and he's amazing. It's shot beautifully. I loved all the tracking shots. that shit is hard to fucking do.
It's so hard to do.
It's so hard, and you have to give them you have to give them recognition. If you don't, then you're fucking stupid. Like,
but theater lends itself so well to that, which gets
Yeah.
me excited too. Like if you're following someone from the stage door up into the green room, over to the dressing room, backstage, across the Traveler, down through the curtain, and then open onto the stage. Like you can do so much with that. Well, I'm talking in a different language to people, but you can you tell I work it?
yeah.
But so that'll be cool. I'm excited to see it for just for that. The trailers threw me off, I guess, with all the wackiness.
I think you will enjoy it. I want to know if you actually think it's on that pedestal, or if you're like kind of in my ballpark where it's like it was good, but like it's not like something I want to go rave about or whatever. So,
Right.
But yeah, I want to get your opinion on it. But that's pretty much what we thought about it. But we saw Birdman first, and then we saw Whiplash second.
Oh, that's interesting. So the second one was Whiplash.
Yeah,
Okay.
we saw Whiplash second, and so Emiline didn't really care for Birdman, but then she was blown away by Whiplash, and so was I, and so was George. What George just said about Whiplash is 100% true. I think it's a perfect movie. It is a 10 out of 10. That thing is on a whole nother level. If Whiplash is playing in your area, and I'm talking to all you crazy people out there in Texas, I know you're
Anybody. If you live on Mars and you can get Whiplash, see it.
See Whiplash on Mars. Okay. I don't even know where to begin. Let's just break it down section wise. Let's do it. Let's go directing. His name is Damien Chazelle.
Damien Chazelle, yeah.
Okay.
That's his second gig. His first gig was, I believe, Guy and Madeline on a park bench, and he did it while he was at Harvard. Then he moved out to L.A., I had the chance to go to a thing with him. He moved out to L.A., wrote a couple of spec scripts. He was a jazz drummer, and this is based on his life, or based 50-50 on his life.
Yeah.
This was his passion project. He was trying to get it made, Through the spec script stuff, got Jason Reitman to be in his corner. Jason Reitman backed him. The producers had him make a short, which was also titled Whiplash, which was basically how they got the movie funded. They got the movie funded. They got J.K. Simmons. Boom, Miles Teller. Drum roll, please. Blood on the drum set. Oh my God, this movie's so good.
It's so good, and
I'm sorry to cut you off.
no,
It is all tension.
Yeah, it really is. Like, it's a very intense movie. Like, all they're doing is fucking drumming. But
it's a thriller.
It really is. Like, I was like, my heart stopped. My heart was going faster when he was drumming faster. Like, I was like, holy shit! Like, this is intense. Like, nothing's really going on, and I feel, oh my God. Okay, the acting. I will say this: both of them kick ass. But I actually prefer Miles Teller over J.K. Simmons.
I do too, and no one's talking about it.
No one's talking about it. His transformation in that movie alone is fantastic. What he went through in every single scene, if you read about what he did, like when Damien would say cut, Miles would keep going to tire himself out to like basically be that character. Listen, J.K. Simmons, like you said, nominated for sure. Miles Teller will also get nominated, but I think Miles Teller actually has a better chance than J.K. does.
I don't. I actually think J.K. Simmons has a better chance because J.K. Simmons is a phenomenal actor and has never been nominated for anything.
Oh, he hasn't?
He didn't get nominated for Oz for the Emmys.
For the Emmys, yeah.
He's never been nominated for an Oscar. He's never been nominated for anything. J.K. Simmons is a lock for Best Supporting Actor nomination.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's put it that way. He will get a lock for the supporting, and I hope Miles at least gets a nomination because people need to fucking realize that he's 10 times better than J.K. in the movie, even though they're both excellent. Like, because you're right. I don't know why everyone keeps saying J.K. Simmons, J.K. Simmons. That's nice. I think it's just because he yells. But like,
well, yeah, but that's I think that's it. Like, J.K. Simmons has this insane intensity that is ferocious and vicious and very very animalistic in a way.
Yeah.
And Miles Teller's character has this transformation, and he's also someone who goes from, and I don't want to spoil the movie, but goes from timid to finding a place, to being ripped apart, to being filled with rage, to sacrificing this, to sacrificing that, all coming to an amazing boiling point. And just Miles Teller just continues to impress. I mean, I loved him in Footloose. I loved him in The Spectacular Now, and he is Oscar worthy in this.
Yeah, no, the acting is it's top notch, man. Like it's insane. Like there's really nothing more we can say about the acting except J.K. is a lock for supporting, and we hope Miles gets nominated because he's just as good, even better in this movie. And so
for the finale alone.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That I don't know. Like, Emiline,
don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
No, I definitely won't. But like, Emiline, did you see me like watching the movie? Like I was like glued to the screen, and I clenched my fist, and I was like on my knee. I was like, oh my God, I couldn't breathe. I was like, oh.
What was really cool about both Whiplash and Inherent Vice at the festival at New York Film Festival is they both were completely sold out. So it was a theater experience, and with Whiplash, I had my jaw drop.
Yeah, no, the whole ending sequence is like your mouth to the floor for sure. It's
so good,
guys. The acting and the direction in this movie for the actors and the way it's shot and the
shot in 19 days, by the way.
Yeah, shot in 19 days, and it's shot well. It looks good. But here's actually my favorite thing besides the acting is the editing. The editing on this movie is something I've really I haven't seen it in a movie this year, which is it's fast, it cuts fast with the music and the intensity, it keeps you on the edge of your seat just from the cutting of the film, and I really loved the editing to it. Like I'm sure you would agree on that.
It's very manic, especially like when they're playing Whiplash in the drumming room, the rehearsal room. You know, they'll start and they'll get to the horn section, whatever, and they'll cut it off. And the editing just cuts as soon as Simmons is like, not my time. The way the editing is cut to the music and cut to the character, and the characters are also kind of written to the music.
Yeah,
it's very much a symphony of sorts, and it's a spectacular movie.
Yeah, and Emiline, she brought up a good point. Go ahead and tell them what your other favorite part was.
Oh, I like the music of it. Just the jazz music stood out to me. How it all went together real well, and I wouldn't mind buying the soundtrack of this movie.
Yeah, no, all the jazz numbers in this. Like, if you're a jazz fan, you'll want to go just to listen to the music. Like, it's that good. George, I mean, did you like all the music in it?
Yeah, I like jazz just in general.
Yeah,
so
I do too.
It's something else, man. And the numbers they got were just great. Whiplash is a jazz song that they purchased the rights to Whiplash, and they purchased the rights to, I forget, one other song.
It was the one that started with the C?
Yeah, I forget what it was, though.
Shit, we saw it like 5 hours ago and we can't remember.
And they purchased the rights to those two specific songs, and then everything else was kind of cut around them. But yeah, man, it's so good, and the writing's great, the editing's great, the direction's phenomenal, the acting's superb. I mean, this is a top of the line film. This and Inherent Vice have been like duking it out for my number one, and George, I don't know what it's going to be by the end of the year.
Now, George, I saw you post something on your Facebook when you saw Whiplash, and I'm going to have to agree with you. Do you remember what you said about Whiplash? And
I've said so many things about Whiplash, man. It's amazing.
You said it might be one of my favorite films of all time.
Oh, it is. It not might. It is.
I actually agree with you. I haven't felt that way about any movie in a long time, and just like we said, every single aspect from directing to the acting to the writing to the cinematography to the editing to the soundtrack, everything was perfect.
Yeah, there have been 3 films this year. Because I guess 3 films this year that landed in my all-time favorites, which people give me shit about a lot. I'm like, well, you know what? Nothing last year was in the list, so what?
Hey, dude, it's your list. Like, you shouldn't have to justify your list.
Inherent Vice is in my all-time favorite.
I'm so excited, but yeah. Whiplash, man. Listen, if it is playing near you, this is one of those movies that if you have to drive 50 miles for, fucking do it. Yeah. Okay? And see it in theaters because it's just, if you're a film buff, you're going to love this. If you're a jazz lover, you're going to love this. If you like Miles Teller and what he's done so far, go see it. Like, it's just...
You're a fan of Oz and haven't seen J.K. Simmons in anything in a while. This is the one to go to.
Let's just put it this way. The only... I'm actually associated with J.K. Simmons because I have farmer's insurance. So every time I go to the website, I see his fucking mug all over the website. And when I go to the website now, I'm going to be fucking terrified that I don't pay my bill on time because it's like, oh, he's going to fucking yell at me. So now I'm worried that J.K. Simmons is going to come to my house and beat the shit out of me if I don't pay my auto insurance. Yeah. Okay. We have panted enough about Whiplash. Everyone, please go see it. Me and Emily saw it today. George saw it like 5 years ago.
Try to see it with a full house if you can, too. It really is an experience of a movie.
Well, we saw it like, 2 p.m., and it was actually kind of packed. It was like half full, and I looked around at everyone's faces when I was like stunned by what I was watching, and everyone was leaning up. You know the move when you lean up in your seat, like staring at the screen?
Yeah.
Oh, everyone was doing that. I was like, this movie has captured everyone. Like, everyone, stop what the fuck you're doing. Like, pay attention to the screen. See it with a full house. See it as fast as you can. George, damn it, it might be my favorite unless something else beats it.
Well, you got the only 2 that coming out this year that I even think have a remote chance at this point are Interstellar. And, really just Interstellar.
Just that one.
I'm really excited for American Sniper, too, but
me too.
For you, Interstellar and Inherent Vice are the 2 you want to watch out there.
George, real quick before we wrap this up, have you seen Nightcrawler yet?
I have not.
Okay, it comes out next week, and I since you've seen everything like 20 years before me, I was just wondering if you saw that one.
I got a ticket to a screening for that, but I couldn't go because of work.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. I figured I'd get one because, guys, listen. When George is on the podcast, he's got shit he's seen. So I want to try to get out of him if he has seen it.
I'm trying to think of what else I've seen. Have I seen anything else so far? Shit. No, I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it.
Well, I mean, you heard it here, guys. We went over a lot of movies, and we're happy to say that some of them just blew our nuts off, and it's a good year for film. And so, if you guys have seen any of these movies and want to discuss, you comment at places where I upload my voice and let me know. Now, since I'm doing this on Saturday, I can't do box office results, but I will have them in the description below if you want to check out the numbers. The reason why I'm doing this on Saturday is because this is like the only time I can talk to George, and I had to ask him about all these movies. It was totally worth it. We went an hour long almost, it's awesome. If you guys love fucking movies, this hour should have flown by. But George, I want to thank you for coming on here.
Thank you for having me.
It might be a while since when we'll see you next, right?
Yeah, I got like 5 shows I'm building for in the next. Yeah, I'm gonna be busy until Christmas.
All right, so basically, I'll see George when I'm 30. Because you and I are the same age, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that we're the same age because we have a lot of friends in like the YouTube and Facebook like space, and so like all of them are like 18 or 19, And I keep forgetting that I'm one of the older ones, and it's creepy that I'm talking to all these 18 and 19-year-olds. But when I talk to George, it's like, oh yeah, we're the same age, and I keep forgetting because
yeah, no, I was at the bar last night. It's okay, I'm good.
It's like, all right, let's calm down, 18-year-olds. You'll be this cool one day, but right now, me and George are on that level. But George, since you're not going to be on the interwebs for a while, doing much, but where can the young folks find you if they want to get a hold of you?
You can find me on Twitter, which I try to check when I can, at GC McCann Movies. And you can. I have a podcast that I'd like to be getting back to at some point, not too distant future. At 2 Movie Buffs on Twitter, and you can find that on podbean.com as well.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys need to follow George on Twitter because I follow this kid, and every time when he sees a movie, he will fucking post his mini review, and it gets you more excited. It's almost as soon as he gets out of a movie, he will post something, and they're entertaining to read. So follow this kid, Emiline. Thank you for joining once again.
Thank you for having me.
And no problem. And if you guys want to follow me on this thing, just click that follow button and get up to dates on live shows and when I do these things, which is whenever the fuck I want to do them. And then if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's @RealChaseLee. Facebook, Facebook.com/RealReviews with Chase Lee. Shabutnik75 is my YouTube handle, where you guys can find my podcast, stupid random shit that will keep you occupied for hours if you are bored with your lives. So I want to thank George for coming on, Emiline for coming on for another episode of Reel Me In, a movie podcast. We are sponsored by CobraCoins.com. Check those guys out. And I'll see you guys next Sunday. I don't know. Halloween's on Friday. I'll probably see Nightcrawler, and I'll tell you how much Jake Gyllenhaal scares me at night. But yeah, I might talk about some other stuff, but other than that, that will be the episode for next week, most likely. So I want to thank everyone for listening, whoever listened to this whole fucking thing, because it's an hour long, dear God. Have a good night, have a good day, have a good whenever. If you're listening to this while taking a shit, tell me. Tweet at me. Tell me that you're listening to this podcast while taking a dump, and I'll try to find you and give you a hug somewhere. Okay, bye.